lights. Okay, so let's start about leadership. What is a leader? Who is a leader? What do you consider, and I'm going to just ask each of them, the most important qualities in a leader? Maureen, I'm going to start with you.
I'm glad I got to go first this time because last time Amelia said everything I was going to say. So, well, I think it's very true, and everyone knows that a leader has to have integrity because your employees know right away if you have integrity or not. And if they figure you don't, they will not follow you. Second of all, one of the things that I had to learn, I stumbled for a year or so, was to listen to both sides of the story before you make a decision. I can't tell you how many times I was embarrassed when I made a decision and then the other side walked in and I thought, oh, I didn't think about that. So if I have any bit of advice today, it's that, to listen to both sides of any problem, situation before you make a decision. And then another important thing that I think people can see is if you lead by example. You can't be coming in to work anytime you feel like it, while the other employees that you work with have to be there at a certain time. You can't take the long lunches. They will understand if you are taking someone to lunch that's going to be a little longer than normal, but they have to know that the leader's heart is in the business, because that's the only way their heart is going to be in the business.
Thank you. Amelia?
Well, this is the reason Maureen and I struggle to be first, because I agree with, of course, I agree with everything that Maureen said. Integrity is the critical factor. It's true of all aspects of our life, correct? Leaders have to have courage, though. They have to have courage to do what's right, and they have to have courage to do what's right, looking at everyone that they are serving. And who are they serving? They're serving their employees, they're serving their communities, if it's a public company, they're serving their shareholders. So there's a lot of responsibility, and having the courage to do what's right should always be the top of mind and should always be the driving force.
So two of the major qualities of a leader, we're talking about integrity and ethics and serving by example. I think that certainly is. Again, with Steve Jobs this morning, one of the things he said is, and following what Amelia just said, is what we need to have is the courage to follow our heart and our intuition. And women certainly have that quality, an ability to follow their heart and intuition, and of course women have more integrity than men, but we didn't say that. Hey. What encouraged you to be a leader? What are the things that the points in your life that encouraged you to be a leader, or was it an accident? And I'm going to start with Maureen.
Actually, I kind of stumbled into it without even realizing it was going to happen. My father asked me to come back to Chicago and head up the international department, which I really was very loath to do because I knew nothing about international. And I always tell the story that I said to him, Dad, I'd rather learn brain surgery than international. And he said, nevertheless, darling, that's where we need you. So I came and found some wonderful mentors who helped me to learn it. And then I was there for 11 years, and I thought, this is where I'm going to stay. International is my thing. I'm here for the rest of my life. And then 6 months before my father passed away, I found out that I was going to be the CEO. So that was really quite a surprise, because you have a mindset as to where you're going to be. Now, I had people in my department, but it wasn't the whole company. So It was an accident. I'm very happy to be in it now. It's been 18 years now, and I can't believe it's been that long. But it wasn't what I had planned. So you never know what's going to be in front of you any time of your life. So you almost have to be ready for anything and embrace it, because that's the only way you're going to get through it.
So sometimes leadership is thrust upon you, and you have to be prepared. Okay, Amelia, are there some points in your life or reasons that you wanted to become a leader or that you became a leader?
I didn't wake up one day saying, I want to lead. It really, what happened was life brings opportunity personally and professionally. And in my professional life, looking at what some of the issues were that the company I worked for had to deal with, I came up with some solutions. And I had to figure out how those solutions how we can get towards those solutions. And it was through that process that people started to notice what my capabilities were. But I'm going to go back to what we said earlier, which is the issue of integrity, doing what's right for the company, its employees, its shareholders, its customers, and looking for solutions to issues that we have to deal with. And it was through that process, and having the courage to talk to people around you and trying to convince them why you believe that is the right solution for the company. So for me, and I don't know too many other people who woke up one day and said they wanted to be a leader. It was really through a necessity where they rose to the occasion that created the opportunity to lead.
I think what you're saying is you need to develop the skills and the competencies in order to be prepared to be a leader, and then either it's thrust upon you or you're encouraged to take that role. What about values? Where do values fit into it? We talked a little bit about integrity.
Well,
you started talking about it with the yeah.
You know, I was thinking of when I entered the workforce, I spent some time reflecting on why I processed a certain way. My parents were extremely humble. They were very kind, and they had a really, really strong work ethic. They had instilled in me and my brother and my two sisters a certain way to be. You know, in the Domenico family, we had to behave a certain way. And I, not consciously, brought those values to the workplace. That's how I interacted with people that I did business with, our customers, our employees. I'm an extremely transparent person. I'm a very direct person. That comes from my upbringing and the way we conducted ourselves in the Domenico household. So it's those values that I still have with me today.
Thank you. And in terms of corporate values, Maureen, I know that you run your company in a very unique way, and that when you talk about your own personal integrity, you also talk about the values of your company and how it functions. Can you talk about that a bit?
Well, I think Amelia and I are both very lucky that we were brought up by parents who are very caring and were good people, because I was taught that you needed to treat people the way you would want to be treated. And I extend that in the company by saying, when we provide a service for someone, whether it's moving their mother across the United States or whatever, we need to treat those people like we would want our mother to be treated. We have a number of people that are moving out of their long-established home. They've maybe been in their home for 40, 50 years. Their son or daughter are moving them across the United States to be closer to them, to maybe be in assisted living. We have to treat those people with care and compassion because they're confused. They don't know where they're going. They're not sure what is in their future. So we have to treat every relocation as a special thing, not just as a piece of paper in the dispatch department. So I have tried to instill that in our people, that this is a business where we are dealing with people who are under terrible stress. I don't know of anyone, including myself, who likes to move. In fact, I probably hate to move more than anybody. But
you all ought to know that Maureen lives above the store.
She does.
Maureen lives above the store. I'm serious. Okay.
Very
so she
convenient.
Didn't want to move. She doesn't want to move anywhere. Go ahead.
So we just have to put ourselves in our customer's place and know a little background of their story so we know how to deal with them. And it makes all the difference in the world. And if I don't care, my employees aren't going to care. So they have to know that this is something that is very important to the company. And I have found that over the years that I don't have to say it hardly anymore, because that's the way they are. They know what we expect, and they want to do it, because that's why they've stayed with us this long, because they have liked the way we do business.
So the culture of your company is your values instilled in the culture and in your employees. Mm-hmm. Thank you. This is a question that it's a hard question. We always ask it at the Women's Forum. Terry Savage asked it at the Women's Forum at the Women's Business Development Center's annual conference. And we always get some surprising answers. I'm not quite sure if it's across the board, but as leaders, we often have to make compromises and to get where we are. I think we all do, you as business owners, what compromises, both personally and professional. And I don't mean compromising your values. I'm talking about really compromises in your life in order to do what you are doing or what you want to do. Amelia, I'm going to give that one to you.
I would say it's probably not uncommon with all of you that I probably compromised wellness and a well-balanced life. As a mom.
That's what I've been telling her.
Yeah. It seems that you put yourself at the bottom of the list so that you can help your children, you can help your family, you can help others, but you should all take care of yourself. I'm not recommending that you do what I did, but I compromised wellness.